We now come to the third and final application of the rotation tensor, and this application is important enough to have its own name, coordinate transformation. So, the basic question is as follows, is that I am going to give you a coordinate system, and suppose in this coordinate system you know the components of a vector and you know the components of a tensor. The question is, if I give you another Cartesian coordinate system E1, can you compute the components of the vector and the tensor in this new coordinate system? Okay, so that's the question, and if you want I can draw a picture for you. Okay, so that's my old coordinate system. It always looks the same, so that's my old coordinate system, and I have a new coordinate system. I usually draw the coordinate system with the same origin. That is absolutely unnecessary. All that matters ultimately is the orientation, as you will figure out soon enough. Okay, so that's my new coordinate system E prime. Okay, now why should I ask this question? The most important reason is, as I have said, in dynamics typically we study rigid bodies and we take measurements of the rigid body. Okay, so suppose I measure the acceleration of a rigid body. Let's draw a rigid body. So here is a rigid body. Okay, and I take a measurement of the acceleration of this rigid body. Okay, let's say that's the center of mass. So I measure AG. Okay, now I measure it sitting in E. So what I will measure is that I will know this. Okay, now I want to communicate this to a friend who lives in this coordinate system. So how do I transfer this information to him? Well, to do that I have to give him this. So knowing this, how do I compute this? Okay, all that I am given is I know my coordinate system and I know the new coordinate system. I know the unit vectors of the new coordinate system. Okay, so I guess that's what the question is, and that's the motivation for the question. Okay, is this the motivation? Okay, so well, here's the answer. We have just learned that if I give you two Cartesian coordinate systems, these are both Cartesian coordinate systems, then I can find a rotation tensor R. Okay, that's R, whose components are given to be this, remember, ij, ji, and which allows you to go from one coordinate system to another. So the unit vectors of the new coordinate of the new coordinate system, it's not really new, it's just another coordinate system, are related to the unit vectors of the previous coordinate system by this rotation tensor, provided R is defined with components like that. Okay, and this R is defined in terms of the unit tensor in E. Okay, so these are little details which we have worked out well before, but you have to get used to. Okay, now that we know that we can relate the two coordinate systems, we can go ahead and show that the components of the vector A in the new coordinate system are related to the components of the vector A in the old coordinate system by this rotation, by the matrix of the rotation tensor. Note the transpose over there, and note that I have used the fact that I know the rotation tensor in the old coordinate system by that formula. In index notation, this matrix equation looks like that, and I will leave this for you to show. So what I will show you is, I will show you how to obtain the matrix of the tensor A in the new coordinate system in terms of the matrix of the tensor A in the old coordinate system by this formula. Note how I am using again the matrix of the rotation tensor in the old coordinate system, because that's what I know, and this matrix equation corresponds to this equation in terms of index notation. You should note how I have colored the dummy indices to indicate that the sequencing is not as natural as it may be in your head. we tend to write R I K A K L. That's not how it's going here. It's K I K L L J. Okay, that's because of this transpose. Okay, so let's go ahead and try and derive this equation. And actually, derivation is very straightforward, just a bit of algebra. But let's go ahead and do it. So what we do is that we first write down A, and we know that we can express A in two ways. We can write it out in terms of the old coordinate system like that, which must be the same as writing it out in terms of the new coordinate system like this. Okay, so these are the components of A in the new coordinate system. And what I will do is that I will begin from this side, and I will try and convert this formula to look like this by using this expression we have to relate the prime unit vectors and the unprimed and the old unit vectors. Okay, so for that what we do is that we use this here. Okay, so let's do that. So A then becomes A prime ij r dot ei prime ei tensor r dot ej prime, not prime. Okay, so that's clearly this is that, and this is this obtained from here. Okay, all right. So now let's just compute r dot ei separately. R dot ei is r m n em tensor en dot ei, and that is simply, well, en dot ei is delta ni, so n becomes I, and this becomes r m I em. Okay, similarly r dot ej becomes r n j e n. Okay, now what I am going to do is I am going to take these and plug them here and here. Do you think this green color is little, should I use blue? Is that better? Nah. How about red? Is good, but it's too distracting. Then maybe I'll use it. Okay, so now I'm going to take these and shove them over here and here. Okay, so let's do that, but first we must become have a seamless flow over here. Okay, so now when I do that, I will get A to be A prime ij r m I e m tensor r n j e n. That's the unit vector. Okay, so collecting everything together, I will write r m I A prime ij r n j e m tensor e n. Now this is starting to look very much like A m n e m tensor e n, because what we have, this is a linear combination of the, seems to be a linear combination of components of A in the unit tensor em tensor en. Okay, so therefore these two must be equal, and that tells me that A m n is r m I A prime I j r n j. Okay, that's all right. So that means I can now write this in terms of matrix notation, which is this on the left side. A m n is really the components of A in E, and that is equal to the components of R in E. The middle one is the components of A in E prime. And now look, J, J. So this, and it is A prime ij R n j. So this thing, let's use a different color. I can write this as R transpose Jn, right? So that's what I'm going to do over here. Is that I'm going to write this as R transpose in E. We have also seen that this is the same as R in E transpose. Great. Then what I can do is, what am I after? I am trying to find A in E1. Okay, I keep using E prime on the right side. Let's be a little careful. What I mean is not E prime, I mean E1. Okay, I hope I have not used E prime anymore. Okay, E1, yeah, great. So really I want this. How do I get this? I can take this and put it over here. Okay, and that's when I need green, and I can take this and put it over here. So I can pre and post multiply by the matrices to get that A in E1 must be R in E transpose A in E and R. Okay, all right. So if you compare this equation with this equation, you will see that they are the same. Okay, and this equation and this equation are also the same. Okay, so I have proved this to you. I have proved this to you. I have managed to get you the components in the E1 coordinate system in terms of the components of A in the E coordinate system, and you can use the same techniques to now solve 1. Okay, maybe that will be your homework. Now what you will notice is that I have to be a little careful in how I work with the components of R. I keep saying, please note that you are using this formula, therefore what you know are the components of rotation tensor R in the old coordinate system. So this bookkeeping may become a little troublesome and may lead to errors. So what I am going to show you now is something which will simplify your life. Let's write down the rotation tensor in terms of the new coordinate system, in terms of E1. It will be R prime ij, Ei prime, Ej prime. Okay, there is no mystery over there. And what I am going to show you now is that in fact the matrix of R in E1 and the matrix of R in E are exactly the same, provided R connects E to E1. Okay, that means R prime ij and Rij are both equal to Ej prime dot Ei. Again the sequence, please remember the sequence: Ij E prime j dot Ei. Okay, so this is an excellent identity which you can derive very easily by simply, well, I can derive it over here. Let's again switch to single page. So in this formula, keep set A equal to R. Then what will I get? I will get R in E1 must be R transpose R transpose in E. A is R, so this is A in E to R in E, but this creature is 1, so that this becomes R in E, which is what I intended to show you. Okay, so that means the components of R in the coordinate systems which are related by R are exactly the same. Okay, as I said, that lessons works in confusion. Okay, so that is the end of the mathematical preliminaries. Always remember the fine print though, and you must be feeling, some of you must be feeling that you hate this stuff, and a fraction of you may be liking this, and I would like to encourage those who are liking that it is okay to like tensors. Your friends may not understand, but it may lead you to get angry because people are misusing things you have learned. They may be confusing matrices and tensors. They are not the same. Matrix is simply a collection of the components of a tensor in a coordinate system. So control your anger. Alright, so moving on.